What's up? Man, I understand a lot of you are very tired. I see you. I saw a lot of you last night. I won't tell. I won't tell anyone. And I guess you're wondering why I brought you all here today. Yeah, I don't know what NFTs are either. Um, so my name's Eric, Eric Spivak. I go by Motivate. I hosted NFT.NYC 2021, and EssentialCon I host every year as well, and I wear a lot of hats. Um, that's what you have to do as a community leader and a builder. You have to wear hats that allow you to be very flexible and malleable. And managing community requires you to wear even more hats. This one should probably get burned, but anyways, I built one of the largest NFT and DeFi communities in the world, and the way that I did this was through consistency in building communities my entire life. In LA, I'm a partner to one of the longest running independent music showcases, and we do it every third Tuesday in South Central Los Angeles, and it spawned the careers of a lot of Billboard charting artists that we all know and listen to and love. In Web3, throughout the pandemic, I was educating and onboarding people every single day through the platform called Clubhouse, and then I got the first official partnership for an expert in crypto, providing education, knowledge, experience, and more, being a liaison and bridge for people from Web2 to Web3, and then we launched Twitter Spaces. Since then, I've hosted Hennessy, Netflix, Doja Cat, Flosstradamus, Luna George, Illmind, and a slew of other talented people and industry leaders, as well as businesses alike in the space, and seen them all also sprout their own networks and communities. So, I don't know who is part of what community in this room, but you are all part of the Web3 community. And one of the differences between audiences and communities is that a community is an audience that just talks too much. I'm just kidding. But at the end of the day, like, to build a good foundation for community, you need to be consistent. You need to secure all the handles that you possibly can, and keep in mind the entire time that you're not building castles on other people's sand. You want to have the first name, last name, email, phone number, and now wallet address in order to be able to have direct-to-consumer and back-and-forth communication with your audience and community at any time. So I call this the new C-suite. Community creates connections, connections create collaborations, collaborations create culture, and culture cultivates communities in cities all over the globe. And one thing with the NFT space and Web3 space at large is there is a lack of culture. There is a lack of diversity, there is a lack of inclusion, there's a lack of accessibility because of the vocabulary that we use. For the longest, I told people NFTs stood for Ninja fucking Turtles, or no, in time. But at the end of the day, it's like you have to speak the code if you want to learn the language, you know? And so the language of Web3 requires community building, it requires networking, it requires asking questions and getting answers and experimenting with this revolutionary technology during a digital renaissance, which all of us are doing. So at the end of the day, I created a list that I'm going to give out to everybody here that's interested. But I built a community to over 700,000 people worldwide. I have 3 sub-communities as well. I don't use WhatsApp, Discord, or Telegram anymore. I really don't like using Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, any centralized platform for the most part. And over the pandemic, I really realized how much community was necessary for people to grow. So that goes into the foundation, structure, and leadership. The beginning phases are often the most important. It's also the only time you have an opportunity to make adjustments, changes, and pivots on the fly. It's your head of house, it's your core, it's your foundation. You don't want to have a weak foundation and build something really big that's scalable, that's supposed to be breaking boundaries and records and have longevity if it's not solid at the bottom in the base. So with that, the first people that you invite into your community are your head of house. That is your core, that is your network. I normally start with friends and family and do kind of market research and see if they like my idea, if my community even serves a purpose, and if they're interested in co-signing what I'm doing and being an advocate or an activist or to edify what I'm doing further. What does that community serve as a purpose? Education, education, education for this space at large is so necessary. That's a very easy way to build a community, because everybody's starting around the same place, and this technology reaches so many different industries at large and is being adapted to and applied to all of them and redefining them. A lot of us also don't know everything, and it's great to be the dumbest in the room and continue to grow and learn. So community learning, brainstorming, having these group chats, these alpha chats, these back channels, and these meetups, that's how you beat the algorithm. Right now, anything that you publish on social media, the moment that you let it go, it's no longer yours. And if Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, if they disappear tomorrow, LinkedIn, how many phone numbers do you have memorized outside of your mom's? Right? I see you, Adrian. Um, so yeah, at the end of the day, what purpose or problem does it solve? Does your community have a purpose? Your why. That's most important in everything, right? And then every community also leaves behind a template, a pattern, a footprint. If you look at Yuga Labs, you look at their roadmap, you look at their journey, you look at any artist or celebrity or athlete or musician, you can look at their track. I used to do comparison tests to Gary Vee and watch his Wikipedia get lined up with different things until I started throwing holiday parties, and one of those was for VaynerMedia. And before Vayner NFT started, and before Vayner Speak started, and before all these different areas started, I got to see a blueprint that I could follow and emulate in my own way with my own unique spin and twist. So building a unique community, and then making that community accessible, right? Accessibility is key. That's why education is so important. That's why democratizing information is so important. And that's why I keep going back to banging on social media. Because if you take all of these conversations that are happening here and you put them into a metaverse or you put them on chain, they can't be blocked in 77 different countries worldwide. They don't disappear when YouTube dies or there's some internal political conflict between a platform and privacy rights and other things. So, making sure that the content and the resources and the offerings that your community has are accessible to everybody. And then the cost of maintenance of that community. Is it a website? Is it servers? Is it paying for pro services? What does your B2B look like? What does your customer acquisition cost look like? If it's not customer, then maybe it's community acquisition costs. How do you get new people to join? And that's by building trust. So if you can continually build trust within your community, maybe by providing education, you might just be able to slowly, organically see this whole thing come to life before your eyes. I did this every single day on Clubhouse, and it just scaled into 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, and beyond. And then same thing with Twitter, opening different spaces for other people and co-hosting with them. And by me showing up every day and giving them a platform, they built their sub-communities and their sub-contracts. So at the end of the day, just think of unique ways to make it accessible, make it inclusive, make it diverse, make it free, make it fun, make it valuable. What do they get for their time, effort, energy? And give them the tools to be successful. Give them access to the things that help you be successful. Recruitment and discovery. How do you find your tribe? How do you find your people? Obviously, marketing and promotion and advertising of a community that you don't understand when you look at it, what it is, does not work. But people learn 60,000 times faster with things that are visual. So by providing business cards or stickers or QR codes that actually have some context, that's a great way of starting to build community, because as that visual identity of your brand or your community starts to pop up everywhere, that logo, that CryptoPunk, that Bored Ape, that whatever it may be, starts becoming familiar, that's going to require no more context because people already know what it is because it's already popular, right? I feel like a lot of this stuff I can just skip because we understand community is the core of everything, and we really lack that community in a lot of ways because there's disconnects because of algorithms that dictate who we can reach, when we can reach them, why we can reach them, and how. So I would say more than anything, just providing value with everything that you're doing. Think about asking people, this is a great icebreaker, what is your Achilles heel? How can I help you? And if you can't help, then you can refer them to somebody else. If that somebody else can complete their problem with the solution, then you are the bridge to that, and you can start growing a community that way. There's holes and umbrellas all around us, and there's not enough people providing solutions to problems, especially in these industries that have legacy systems and antiquated models. And that's what we're able to do with these new communities. That's what DAOs are doing. So more than anything, to continue growing your community, literally just provide value. I know that sounds ignorant. It might sound very lazy. It might sound very simple, but really, education in a space that's new and everybody's starting around the same point is what everybody needs. And until that is accessible, it's going to be a problem that you can provide a solution to. And I would say at large, it is an ecosystem, right? So ecosystems need hosts. If there's nobody talking about any of the Web3 tools, if nobody's having conversations that are authentic around metaverses and virtual reality, AI, AR, XR, security, privacy, different layers, ZK rollups, all of these things that might sound like a foreign language, that's also, again, an opportunity for you to build a community around or a product that provides a solution. So to keep the ecosystem healthy, we need people in the community really diving deep into these different areas and making sure that everybody is elevated together. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Eric.